AM 1450 KBPS presents live PIL basketball. Now with all the action, let's go courtside with the KBPS sportscasting crew.
Hi everyone and good evening from Grant High School in Northeast Portland. I am John Phillipson alongside Jacob Patterson for AM 1450 KBPS in Portland. Tonight's game features 6A boys basketball as the Grant Generals host the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Jacob, what can we say about these two tonight?
Sean, happy Friday. It's going to be an electric, awesome basketball game here tonight.
Two of the best teams in the entire state of Oregon going up. They both are coming off 5 wins in a row. Both of these teams are on fire tonight. Like I said, two of the top teams in the state. Roosevelt coming in number 3 and Grant coming in at number 6. We are going to have a phenomenal game tonight, and it's packed in here. We have a crowd. We've got the band is getting ready to get fired up. We're going to have a good game tonight, Sean.
The Grant Army on the far side to our right, they are energized and ready to go for tonight's contest. Looking at how these two teams have fared during the regular season, Roosevelt entering tonight's game on a 5-game winning streak, which is a season high for them. They are 16-5 overall and 9-3 in the Portland Interscholastic League, good for 4th overall in the league. Grant tops in the PIL League this year at 11-2 and 16-3 overall. Last time these teams met was back on January 21st, where Grant won at Roosevelt 71-69. Jacob, can you run down what happened during the last time these teams met?
Yeah, and what a close game, right, Sean?
For Roosevelt, Terrence Hill had 32 points, 4 3-pointers,
15 points in the third quarter. Donatello Tupper, 12 points, 8 rebounds, almost a double-double. Chance White chipped in 11 points. For Grant, Adrian Mosley, 30 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 11 to 23 from the field. That's including 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. 10 points in the fourth quarter. Keep your eyes on Adrian Mosley. Max Von Arx, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Had the buzzer beater, the go-ahead layup with 2 seconds left in that game. Sean, as you mentioned, it was only a 2-point difference. Very close game. Of course, Andre Lawrence also kicking in 6 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 blocks for the Generals. I expect nothing but the same tonight. An excellent game.
Phenomenal performances on both sides, and this may come down to another buzzer beater at the final seconds of this game.
Well, one thing's for sure, we hope we don't get a runaway of a contest between these two teams, given how skilled and talented they are on the court. Let's go through the starting lineups. First for the visiting Roosevelt Rough Riders at guard and at wing, a senior Rayshawn Seamster. At guard, a sophomore Terrence Hill Jr. At wing and guard, senior Donatello Tupper. At guard, a sophomore Utrillo Morris. And at wing and guard, a junior Baya Kim. Rough Riders are coached by Yusuf Leary, assisted by Ben Grass, Chad Neuendorf, and Jamar Lawson. For the Grant Generals starting lineups, at wing and guard, junior Adrian Mosley. At wing and guard, a senior Andre Lawrence. In one post tonight, senior Max Von Arx. Also in the post, a senior Austin J. And at wing, a senior Cole Bernius. The Generals are coached by Robert Key. Should be a great matchup tonight. The Grant Band is here. First time poised and energized, as well as us here tonight, and the whole crowd, which it looks like from here it is a sellout.
Yeah. It looks like the entire student section for Grant is on their feet already. We haven't even had the introductions of the starting lineups yet.
Exactly, and that's what the PA announcer does so well for Grant. He will announce. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will get right into the broadcast between Grant and Roosevelt. This is the second and final meeting between these two schools. Generals, Rough Riders next on KBPS in Portland. Welcome back to Grant High School on AM 1450 KBPS in Portland. Sean Phillips and Jacob Patterson on hand for the second and final meeting between Grant and Roosevelt. Starters one more time for the Rough Riders: Seamster, Hill Jr., Tupper, Trillo, and Kim. For Grant, Mosley, Lawrence, Von Arks, Jay, and Bernius. It will be Kim and Jay jumping it up at midcourt. Tip-off one for Roosevelt starting tonight's game, going left to right, right to left for Grant. Roosevelt in the road black uniforms with gold lettering and white trim. Grant in the home white uniforms with blue lettering and blue trim. Morris setting up on the offensive end. Gives it for Hill Jr. back to Morris. Morris moving left to right. Gives it to Hill Jr., who's had a terrific scoring output this year. Over 20 points per game for Roosevelt. And it comes to Morris dribbling into the paint. Kicks it back out to Terrence Hill Jr. 30 seconds gone in the opening quarter from Northeast Portland. Ball moving on the perimeter. It's Tupper. Passes back out to Morris. Morris guarded by Lawrence in the paint. On the kick out goes Tupper. Recovers the loose ball. Passes right over to the right wing to Hill Jr. Hill passes right over to Morris. Morris in a double team. Lobs it inside to Seamster. Has to go backdoor on the pass to Kim. And a jump ball called. Possession arrow to Grant.
Now, both of these teams physically are very evenly matched size-wise, so this could be another close game.
We'll have to find out during the rest of this contest to see how the length will fare for both teams, even the fatigue, the physical and mental fatigue going into this game. Von Arks on the right wing, pass tipped by Seamster, recovered by Grant. Mosley, a left corner three, and knocks it down. Adrian Mosley puts Grant on the board, 3-0, 6:33 left in the first quarter. In the paint goes Morris. He turns it over, and a foul is called on Roosevelt's Morris, his first. A loose ball foul on Utrillo Morris, his first for Roosevelt.
You can't leave the team's best player wide open for a three. He'll make it all night long. Maybe getting a little too fancy on a dribble coming off of that, but didn't lead to a turnover.
Lawrence gives it to Von Arks, top of the circle. Lawrence, left corner three, in and out by Bernius. Defensive rebound by Seamster. Up the floor goes Hill Jr. Passes right for Morris. Back to Hill Jr. Guarded by Lawrence. Hill Jr. passes right into the wing to Morris. Hill Jr. passes inside to Kim. Shot blocked in the lane. Puts up a second effort to hit Kim on his first field goal for the Rough Riders. It's 3-2 Grant.
Almost lost that ball in the dribble there, but dug it out, got the layup.
Von Arks holding the ball up, trying to advance past the timeline. Roosevelt playing a little bit of a full court press, and Grant gets it past the timeline. Open three, right wing, no good by Mosley. Rebound pulled down by Seamster again for Roosevelt. It's Hill Jr., a long three-pointer, back iron, and this rebound tapped by Seamster over for Morris. Morris cross-court passing to Tupper, a left corner three. No good again. Defensive rebound by Grant is Lawrence. Lawrence passes for Von Arks into Bernius on the left wing. Over for Mosley on the left corner near side. Guarded by Kim. Kim has a huge matchup to deal with Mosley. At the scorer's table, Marcus McKinney for Grant. He'll check in next dead ball. It is Lawrence off the screen. Guarded by Morris. He does have the height advantage over him. Ball moving on the perimeter for Grant. 4:55 remaining first quarter. And we have a whistle sounding.
There's a player injured. He's got a bloody nose.
And he has to come out for the moment. Marcus McKinney will check in off the bench. Good eye, Jacob. Inbounds for Lawrence from McKinney. 3-2 lead for Grant. 4:49 remaining in the first quarter. Ball on the perimeter again for Grant. McKinney passes right wing to Lawrence. Lawrence right corner to Jay. Jay over for Lawrence. Pass to Von Arks. Thought about the three. Lobs it inside to Jay. Quick ball movement. Mosley, a far corner three. Good again. Adrian Mosley with 6 in the first quarter, all of the 6 for the Generals, and he leads 6-2 with 4:20 left first quarter.
2 for 3 from beyond the arc tonight so far.
Roosevelt looking to respond back. Seamster nearly turns the ball over. Tap last by McKinney for Grant. It will remain Roosevelt ball on the near sideline in front of the scorer's table and in front of the Grant bench.
Great play from both teams so far on both sides of the ball. Great offense, great defense.
Oh, for Tupper on the left wing, back to Morris. Morris holding the ball up. Passes right wing to Hill Jr. Hill Jr. passes left to Tupper. Top of the arc 3 for Morris. It's good. Morris with his first from long range, and Grant leads by 1, 6-5, 3:47 left in the first quarter. Quick ball movement by Grant. Nearly traveled did McKinney as he fell to the floor in the paint. Nice double pass inside. Von Arx can't get the layup to fall. Good pass though by Mosley. Out of bounds, Roosevelt ball.
Tried to do the sky hook, the old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Bill Walton sky hook there, but couldn't quite, didn't put enough mustard on that one.
Roosevelt ball, 3:30 left, first quarter of play, 6-5 lead for Grant. Roosevelt has yet to have a lead in the quarter. Seamster driving into the paint and gets called for traveling. Turnover, Roosevelt, Grant ball. It'll be Lawrence to inbound for Grant and gets it into McKinney. McKinney and Lawrence playing two-man game in the backcourt, gets it to Mosley. Back to Lawrence. Lawrence advances past. Good. Rebound put back up and in by Austin J. 8-5 lead, Grant. 3:08 left, first quarter.
Half of the Grant crowd is on their feet already, and they're just waiting for something to erupt.
Yes, they are. Morris off the screen, going to his left, shows it inside. Reverse layup is no good by Kim. Defensive rebound by Jay. Up the floor, Mosley. Passes left wing to McKinney, a 3. Good! Marcus McKinney, his first from long range. 30-second timeout called on the floor by Roosevelt.
This place is electric. There's not an empty seat in the house.
Not an empty seat is right. Grant Army really happy with the Grant Generals offensive attack. They lead by 6, 11-5 with 2:46 left in the opening quarter. We'll stay here during the timeout. But Jacob, what a run early on for Grant. They are not being intimidated by the length of Roosevelt's side.
Phenomenal defense. I mean, every point so far is being earned. There's no easy buckets here tonight.
None whatsoever. Roosevelt yet to break out of the huddle. Grant out of the huddle first. This is a 30-second timeout.
I got to mention, I really like the message that's on the back of the Roosevelt jerseys. It says the word we, and then the greater than sign, and then me. In other words, we are greater than me. That's a cool message on the back of the Roosevelt jerseys.
Given the high energy, I'm sure, for tonight, the officials had their hands full and trying to make sure they maintain peace on both teams tonight. Roosevelt ball out of the timeout, down by 6. Roosevelt has yet to have a lead in the first quarter. Morris brings it up. Morris, Grant in a 2-3 zone. Morris goes for 3 out of the timeout and buries it. Utrillo Morris with 6 for Roosevelt. 11-8 lead Grant. 2:25 left in the opening quarter. McKinney fakes the pass and gets it across to Jay. Jay back to Mosley on the right wing. Mosley, bullet pass inside to Jay, lays it up short. Rebound Jay, put back up, no good. Rebound tap by Lawrence, recovered by Tupper. Tupper passes right wing to Morris. Morris off the screen.
Had a couple shots to tap it in there, just wouldn't go.
Hill Jr. on the kick out, 3-pointer from the near corner, good! By Rayshawn Seamster, his first from long range. And we are tied at 11, 1:50 remaining first quarter.
Just like that, don't blink, folks.
Von Arx turns the ball over, steal by Roosevelt. Up the floor, Hill Jr. Hill Jr. to the basket, and the Rough Riders lead. Great fast break layup for the Rough Riders. Hill's first field goal and a 13-11 lead for Roosevelt. McKinney passes long to Jay. Finds Von Arx, who can't handle the pass. Turnover Roosevelt. 3-on-0. Tupper slams it down with two hands. Hill Jr. on the assist. A 4-point lead for Roosevelt. 15-11. 1:15 left in the first quarter. And an offensive foul on Andre Lawrence. A terrific charge take in the backcourt by Morris.
The Roosevelt crowd is on their feet. The bench is on their feet. Woo! Everybody's fired up tonight.
Roosevelt fans like that defensive effort from Morris, stepping in front to take the offensive foul on Lawrence for Grant. Utrillo Morris checking with Yusuf Leary on what play they want to set up. The inside to Tupper, puts up a tough shot and puts it in. Tupper with 4, lead up at 6 for Roosevelt. Back at the other end, a layup is good by Lawrence.
Wow.
A quick strike for Grant, down by 4, 17-13, 46 seconds remaining in the first.
A slam dunk and a behind-the-back lay-in so far in this game.
Morris lobs it inside to Kim at the foul line. Comes in the right blocks, lost the handle, puts up a tough shot, no good. Defensive rebound by Lawrence. Loose ball picked up by Lawrence again, and it's stolen by Roosevelt. Foul called on the floor as Hill snatched it and picks up a foul.
Quite a bit of contact there. The refs really are letting these guys play it out, but there was a lot of contact going on there.
McKinney on the foul, his first for Grant. And the inbounds getting in play, quickly tapped out of bounds by Mosley against Hill Jr. Roosevelt to re-inbound the ball underneath their own basket. 26.4 left first quarter. 17-13 lead for the visiting Rough Riders. A long 3 for Hill Jr. Back iron and miss. Offensive rebound right to Morris. Seamster, a right corner 3. That's no good. Another offensive rebound digged out by Kim. Kim on the left corner, turns it over. Mosley steals. 10 seconds left of the quarter. Mosley, left-handed pass down the court to McKinney, and out of bounds it will remain Grant ball with 6.9 left in the quarter.
6 seconds.
Wow.
McKinney to inbound on the far side. McKinney gets it in. Lawrence, right corner, lobs it left side to Jay. Into Mosley, a left baseline 3. It's an air ball. McKinney tries to follow the miss at the buzzer, but left it short. That's the end of quarter number 1 from Northeast Portland. Roosevelt 17, Grant 13. Second quarter next on KBPS. Welcome back to Grant High School on KBPS. Roosevelt leading Grant 17-13. As the second quarter about to begin, it will be Roosevelt to inbound on the far side. It is Hill Jr. to do the inbounding. Utrillo Morris leading the team with 6 first quarter points for Roosevelt. Quick ball moving on the perimeter for Roosevelt. Hill Jr. passes out for Morris. Morris comes between the rings, still with the standing dribble. Grant remaining in a 2-3 zone to deny the inside from Seamster. Seamster rolling to the left corner now, and it comes to Morris with the ball. Gives it for Kim at the foul line. Back to Hill Jr. Hill Jr. tries to dump it inside to Kim. Turnover. Up the floor comes Mosley. Mosley on the break. He'll pull from the right elbow. That's good. Adrian Mosley with 8. Lead trim down to 2 for Roosevelt at 17-15. 7:19 left in the first half.
He had 30 points last time these two teams met. Look for another double-digit effort from Mosley tonight.
Morris into the left wing and Hill Jr. Hill Jr. guarded by Lawrence. Hill Jr. off the screen, gives it for Morris. Back to Hill Jr., unloads the 3. Top of the backboard, missed and out of bounds. It will be Grant ball.
Roosevelt's getting some good looks at the threes. A couple of them just aren't falling for him tonight.
On the other side, Grant has been making their threes count in the first half thus far. McKinney gives it for Mosley on the right corner, backing in. He can very well do that given the height advantage disparity. Von Arx passes left wing. Lawrence, 3-pointer, no good from the left side. Rebound, volleyball up in the air, and claimed by Jay. Into the hands for Mosley. Mosley backing in on Morris. Mosley will pull for the right elbow, no good, looking for a foul. Rebound on the play, recovered by Seamster. 2 on none. Tupper slam dunks it. Tupper with 6. Lead up at 4 for Roosevelt at 19-15.
2 dunks for him tonight so far.
He has crushed the rim with ease. Back at the other end, McKinney with the layup, no good. Rebound out of bounds. Roosevelt possession. Back into the game for Grant will be Charlie Capranos. Actually, he's making his first appearance of the game. And Jay-Sean Pete. Jay-Sean Pete and Max Von Arx both know each other very well. They played high school football together for Grant in different positions, of course. Max Von Arx primarily receiver. The inside, Tupper lays it up and in rather quickly for Roosevelt. And the lead grows back up at 6 for the Rough Riders at 21-15. 5:50 left first half. Jay-Sean Pete trying to get some energy off the bench for Grant. Passes left wing into Lawrence. Lawrence dribble drive. Dumps it off to Caprano. Shot blocked away by Seamster. 2-on-1 break. It is Tupper who dunks it again. Tupper with 10. Timeout Grant. 8-point lead Roosevelt at 23-15. Grant will call for a full. We'll take the full with them to the break. 5:35 left second quarter. Grant trailing Roosevelt 23-15 on KBPS. Jay-Sean Pete to inbound the ball for Grant. 5:35 left in the second quarter. Roosevelt leading by 8 at 23-15. In the left corner, Lawrence. Lawrence comes outside near midcourt, guarded by Tupper, who's had some terrific dunks in the first half, especially on the break. Mosley backing in, now guarded by Seamster, a straight on 3 from there, and good again. Adrian Mosley with 11 in the half, and a 5-point game for Roosevelt at 23-18.
Yeah, they don't want to let this slip away. The Rough Riders are pulling ahead a little bit there.
Morris dribble drive, kicking into the near corner, a 3, good to respond by Ray-John Seamster. Seamster with 6, lead back up at 8 for Roosevelt at 26-18. Whistle sounding, foul on the floor. Team fouls have been relatively low in the quarter. Foul called on Kim, his first. And back on the floor for Grant will be Bernius. He will check in off the bench for Lawrence to get his first rest of the game.
The refs know that these are 2 of the top teams in the state playing here tonight. They're both hungry. They want this, and they're letting them play.
Mosley on the right wing gets the inbounds pass, looking for someone to give it to, and a pass deflected and out of bounds. Hill Jr. read that play like a cornerback in football. It'll be Grant possession, though.
Almost took out somebody in the first row there. Thank goodness people watching out.
Good call on that, too. Pete, right to left crossover, guarded by Tupper. Into Von Arx, double drive into the paint. Nearly shuffled his feet that time. Gives it back to Pete. Left corner, near side, pulls the ball back out on the left wing. Pete back over to Mosley. Mosley into Capranos. Capranos now dare to shoot the 3. No good. Rebound up high, claimed by Hill Jr. Yusuf Leary wants his team to run up the floor. In it comes to Morris. Morris pulls the ball back out on the left wing. Morris now will shoot the 3-pointer in and out. Rebound tapped by Kim and handled by Mosley into the front court. Mosley into a triple team. Jump ball is called. And the possession arrow to Grant.
There is not an easy bucket tonight, not an easy pass. Both teams are playing phenomenal defense and making each other earn this.
Antonio Jimenez Garcia will check in for his first appearance, as Ray-Sean Seamster will head to the bench for his first rest of the game. And the inbound's over for Pete. Pete guarded by Hill Jr. Pete still with it. Passes left over for Bernius. Bernius over for Von Arx. Left wing. Into the left block into Capranos. Back to Pete. Pete gives some space on the left side. Back to Von Arx. 3:33 left first half. 26-18 lead for Roosevelt. Pete nearly stumbled with the basketball. Passes left over for Von Arx. Von Arx bullet pass inside to Capranos. Capranos kicks it out. A straight on 3 for Pete is good. Jay-Sean Pete, his first 3 from long range. 26-21 Roosevelt lead. Morris On the ball, between the rings, over for Hill Jr. Hill Jr. passes out for Jimenez Garcia and turns it over. Steal by Von Arx in the paint. Over from Mosley. Under 3 minutes remaining, second quarter, 26-21, Roosevelt lead. Mosley spinning, will step back for three, no good. Rebound tapped by Tupper, over from Morris. Down the floor, Hill Jr. lays it up, no. Followed up, no good by Roosevelt. A layup, no good by Kim. And he draws the foul inside. I think that one on Bernius. No, that's on Von Arx, excuse me. That's his first foul of the game.
There was a lot of contact before that foul was called, and I think the Grant crowd a little upset that the Grant player is the one that got called for the foul. By the way, Bernius, who had to leave the game earlier with that bloody nose, is now playing with looks like a wad of tissue stuffed up his nose to keep it from going all over the place.
Kim makes the first free throw. The second free throw is good for Kim. 28-21 lead. Roosevelt, a 7-point cushion for the Rough Riders. 2:34 left in the first half, and Pete nearly lost the ball in the backcourt. Recovered it, though. Over to the right elbow in Mosley. Double clutches the shot up and in. Adrian Mosley now with 13 points, 28-23 lead for Roosevelt. Into Tupper. Long jumper for two. That's no good. Rebound grabbed by Bernius, two-handed. Von Arx over for Mosley. Mosley, primarily in his early part of his career, would back in against smaller guards, but now having to play on the perimeter a lot more. Pete off the foul line, kicks it out. Bernius a three. Good! Cole Bernius, his first from long range tonight. And a 2-point lead for Roosevelt at 28-26. 1:50 left first half.
Clearly, the wad of Kleenex in his nose is not making a difference.
Hill Jr. lost the ball as the ball was coming directly to him. Turnover, Roosevelt. Grant ball, 1:46 left in the half. Grant can tie or take the lead this possession. Bernius will inbound the ball.
The generals in the crowd are on the edge of their seats ready to erupt.
Yes, they are. In the inbounds for Von Arx, back to Bernius. Over to the right side is Pete. Pete guarded by Hill Jr. Pete lost the dribble. Great steal, but it is out of bounds. Grant turns it over. As Pete was trying to save that ball, it was off his hands.
It would have been a steal, even if he didn't step out of bounds there. It would have been a steal, so it would have probably been a turnover either way.
Actually, they gave Pete a foul on that for the loose ball foul. That is his first, team's fourth of the quarter. Roosevelt ball the other way. Hill Jr. bullet pass inside to Kim. He missed the dunk in the paint. Missed opportunity there.
Oh, nothing worse than missing the slam dunk. Oh, no.
Mosley spinning in the lane and lost the handle. Steal by Kim on the defensive end. He made it for that last dunk. Over to Jimenez Garcia, a three. That's no good, an air ball. Rebound, Von Arx down the floor, Mosley. An uncontested layup is good. He wanted to dunk it, but he thought easy enough to go for the layup instead. Two-handed.
He just saw that other missed dunk and said, no, I'm going to lay this one in.
Tie game at 28 all, 50 seconds left in the half. Pass inside to Kim, out of bounds. Grant ball, another turnover on the Rough Riders. Yusuf Leary asking for the referee to overturn the call and not successful. Inbounds for Mosley, over for Bernius. 45 seconds left in the half. Pete lobs it high for Bernius as he advances past the timeline. Mosley off the screen. Mosley, a left wing three. That's no good. Defensive rebound, Kim. Up the floor, Hill Jr. Roosevelt has led as many as 8 in the first half. Hill Jr. to the basket. Right hand layup. Soft, smooth touch to the basket and scores.
That was beautiful. Looked like a Michael Jordan lay-in right there.
30-28, Roosevelt lead. Bounce pass. Three-pointer for Bernius for the lead. No good. Offensive rebound. Capranos, no good. Great defense by Jimenez Garcia. Offensive rebound, Grant. Jay-Sean Pete for three. And he knocks it down.
Wow. What a sequence.
Three-pointer at the buzzer, nearly made from midcourt by Hill Jr. And folks, that will take us to halftime with the score. Grant 31, Roosevelt 30, as Grant has retaken the lead here in Northeast Portland. Halftime show coming up next. 31-30 Grant lead over Roosevelt on KBPS. Welcome back to Grant High School on AM 1450 KBPS in Portland. Sean Phillipson, Jacob Patterson on hand with you. Halftime from Grant. Generals lead 31-30 over the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Jacob, your first half thoughts.
This has been an epic game anyway.
From the phenomenal entrance that Grant High School put on for their player introductions, from the tip-off, it's been a phenomenal, electric night. Both teams are playing phenomenal. You're seeing the best players on both teams really highlighting why they are the best teams, and we're seeing best players, and we're seeing why these two top teams in the state really are two of the top teams in the state of Oregon right now. It's no surprise that there's only 1 point difference here at halftime, and the crowd's into it. The band is sounding great. I mean, this is the most packed high school
basketball game I've seen all year long. Empty seat in the house. It's standing room only over in that section right there. This place is on fire tonight. It's Friday night. Both teams coming in looking to claim the dominance. They're both coming off of 5 wins in a row, and this is everything that we thought it would be so far.
Absolutely. Let's run down the first half scores for both teams. First for Roosevelt, Donatello Tupper with 10 points, leading the way for Roosevelt. Seamster and Morris with 6, and Kim and Hill Jr. with 4 points at halftime for Roosevelt. Morris and Kim with 1 personal foul each for Roosevelt. For Grant, Adrian Mosley with 15 points, leading all scorers at halftime. Jay Sean Pete off the bench with 6. McKinney with 3. Bernius with 3. Lawrence and Jay with 2 for Grant. Lawrence, McKinney, and Von Arx and Pete all have 1 foul at halftime. Grant has led as many as 6 in the first half. Roosevelt has led as many as 8. Halftime show continues from Northeast Portland. Grant leading it 31-30 over Roosevelt. We'll be back on KBPS. Grant leading Roosevelt 31-30 at halftime. Sean Phillips and Jacob Patterson on hand. Rundown of next week's games for you on KBPS. We will be back at Cleveland for boys basketball action, as we'll also see the Grant Generals as well on Wednesday. Cleveland hosting Grant on Wednesday, February 23rd. And Friday, we have yet to decide what game we'll cover next week. So we'll keep you in the loop on kbps.am for further details. And that will conclude the regular season of play in the PIL.
John, I got to give you a tip of the hat to you for the phenomenal job that you do on all the research and stats that you do. And you are the one that picks and chooses kind of which games that we're broadcasting on KBPS. And you do the homework so well that's why we're here tonight at this game specifically tonight against 2 of the top teams. Number 3 in the state, Roosevelt. Number 6 in the state, Grant. It's Friday night. And Sean, that's thanks to you and your brilliance, and you do such a great job. And tip of the hat to you. And real quick, I'd like to mention for all of our listeners that this sportscasting program on KBPS is open to all high school students in the PIL. There's more information on sportscasting at our website, www.kbps.am. If you are a high school student, or if you know a high school student that likes broadcasting or sportscasting or might be interested in a program like this, please let us know. Reach out. That we have the contact information there on our website, www.kbps.am.
This concludes our halftime show. We will be back in 90 seconds. 90 seconds from now, we will have the second half action coming to you from Grant High School. Grant leading it over Roosevelt 31-30. You're listening to live 6A boys basketball action on AM 1450 KBPS. At the other end, Cole Burney has knocked down the jumper, falling to Roosevelt, missed. 33-30 lead, Grant. As we resume play, 30 seconds gone into the third quarter. Hill Jr. into Utrillo Morris, back to Hill Jr. on the left wing. getting off the side of him. Junior right hand layup, good defensive rebound, Mosley. 7:10 left, third quarter, 33-30 lead. Mosley steps into a three from straight away, no good. Fight for the ball, recovered by Kim for Roosevelt. 1 minute gone in the third. Seamster, left corner three, no good. Defensive rebound, Mosley, stolen by Kim, recovered by Von Arx for Grant. Mosley bounce over to Lawrence on the left wing. Mosley gets to get past half court and now does. Lawrence going right. Covered by Kim. Stops the dribble, looking for someone to give it to. 5 count is on. Got it to Bernius, over for Von Arx. Von Arx hurting it. Dribble drive, going to the paint. Lost the ball, did Bernius. Recovered by Bernius. Into Lawrence. Lawrence on the left wing, guarded by Kim. Man-to-man defense for Roosevelt. And it comes to Mosley. Backing in on Morris and out of bounds. Turnover, Grant. Roosevelt ball. Miscommunication on the pass from Mosley.
Little slow out of the gate here for the teams in the second half, but the crowd's on the edge of their seats, ready to get into this.
Yes, they are. Layup is good by Seamster. 33-32 lead, Grant. 5:50 left in the third quarter. Lawrence driving into the paint with the left hand layup is good. Lawrence with 4, lead back up at 3, 35-32. Seamster immediately to the hoop, missed the shot. Tupper leaps and lays it in on the second effort. Tupper with 12 for Roosevelt.
That was a great move to the hole. It looks like something's not quite right with his knee brace or something, because he immediately went to try to adjust that knee brace when he missed that layup.
35-34, Grant lead, 5:20 left in the quarter. Von Arx for 2 from the left elbow, no good. Rebound by Morris. Morris over to the right wing and Tupper. Tupper over for Morris. Gives it inside to Kim, who lays it up, goaltending on Mosley. 6 for Kim, and Roosevelt leads by 1 at 36-35, but the score right that time.
It was still an impressive height to get up that high to get that ball, even though it was goaltending. He was up there.
5 minutes left, third quarter. Lawrence dribbling the ball. Going to his right. Lawrence lost the ball. Seamster steals on the floor, and a foul on Grant. Foul on Lawrence, his second for the Generals. Roosevelt ball on the near sideline.
Stop, guys. Come on, Cole, let's get it, ball.
Tupper inbounds the ball to Morris. 4:50 left in the third. Morris handling the ball at the point. Has his matchup with Andre Lawrence. Passes right over to left over to Hill Jr. Back to Morris to Hill Jr. Hill Jr. backing in on Von Arx. Gives it for Morris. Dribble drive into the paint. Shot blocked with a foul called on Austin J. He thought he had all ball, but he gets called for a defensive foul, his first of the game.
It looks like he went straight up there, but then he didn't stay in place, and he moved and shifted, and that's probably what got him the foul.
Morris at the line to shoot 2. First trip at the line tonight for him. And Morris rattles in the first free throw. 37-35 lead Roosevelt. They lead by 2 with 4:32 left in the third. Morris on the second free throw, and it rattles out. Defensive rebound by Jay. Gets it for Lawrence. Up ahead, Mosley, left wing. Mosley backing in against Morris. Mosley looking for help. 5 count is on. Gets it over for Lawrence. On the left wing, Lawrence gives it for Von Arx right on top of the circle. 3 for Lawrence, left wing. Good! Andre Lawrence with 7. And Grant retakes the lead at 30. 4:03 remaining in the third. Hill Jr. with it. Passes for Morris. Going into the paint. And he traveled with the basketball. Turnover, Rough Riders. Grant ball.
The Grant student crowd still on their feet. They haven't sat down since the opening introductions.
And during the introductions, we had the light dimmed down for Grant. Donatello Tupper blocks the shot from Lawrence on the defensive end as we resume play. Apologies for the technical difficulties. In it comes to Kim, driving into the paint. No shot. He traveled. Kim made a Euro step to the basket and gets called for travel. .155 left third quarter, 39-38 lead Roosevelt. Grant to inbound is Lawrence. Lawrence had a layup opportunity on the last Grant possession, and Tupper came down with the chase down block to stop the shot. Lawrence against Tupper, and it comes to Bernius on the left wing. Over to Von Arx between the rings, back to Bernius. Bernius over for Lawrence, the left corner three. No good for the lead. Rebound right to Jay. Missed the layup, fouled in by Mosley.
Those are two good looks, and neither of them went down.
40-39 lead Grant. 1:20 left in the third quarter. Jimenez Garcia fakes the pass over for Morris. And it comes to Hill Jr. A long three, and I mean a long three, and he buries it. Hill Jr. with 7 in the game, and a full timeout called.
Looks like Damian Lillard out there.
That from the logo, as we've seen many guards do. As Roosevelt will call for a full timeout. We'll take a 1-minute break with 1:10 left in the third. 42-40 lead, Roosevelt leading it over Grant on KBPS.
This is the home of live PIL sports action. AM 1450, KBPS, Portland.
Roosevelt ball as we continue the fourth quarter of play. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. When you have so many people signal, that really causes a big mayhem with the board here.
It's a packed house tonight.
Packed house is right, and we expected nothing more or less. Turnover, Roosevelt on the pass. Grant ball, nothing much has changed at the end of the third quarter. Roosevelt led 45-40. Terrence Hill Jr. made a three-quarter court shot at the horn as time expires to put Roosevelt in front by 5. It's 45-42, 4:15 left in the game. Lawrence a three-pointer, no good for the tie. Rebound pulled down by Hill Jr. Loose ball picked up by Roosevelt. Tupper gets it across to Morris. Morris on the right wing now. Pulls it out. Morris passes over for Seamster. Seamster dribble driving into the paint. Shoots a tough shot over Von Arx. No, but a foul called on Max Von Arx. The team fouls have been low during the third quarter while we were away. Von Arx has picked up his second foul of the game. That's the third team foul on Grant. No team fouls for Roosevelt.
This packed house, the crowd, you can hear the boos coming from the Grant fans. You know, the refs are letting these guys play a lot. They're giving them a lot of leeway. There's a lot of contact. These are two of the top teams in the entire state of Oregon coming in, fired up, wanting this game badly, and they're letting them play. And then they call a foul on kind of a very light contact, and Grant fans are just not happy about that.
Rayshawn Seamster does make one of two. Roosevelt will call for time. We'll stay on during this timeout. We will do a game reset for you on what's going on here. Tupper in tonight's game, he has 12. Morris with 7. Seamster with 9. Hill Jr. with 10. Bea Kim with 6 so far for Roosevelt. Mosley has 17 points still for Grant. Jay-Sean Pete with 6. Bernius with 5. McKinney with 3. Jay and Capranos with 2 for Grant. Grant has led as many as 6 tonight. Roosevelt has led as many as 8 in this game.
And Roosevelt's got the lead now. They're up by 6. We've got just under 4 minutes left in this game. Grant coming into this game ranked number 6.
Actually have a better record. They're, I believe, 15 and 3, whereas Roosevelt coming in. It's two of the best teams in the state of Oregon, and this is going to come down to the final moments of this game. Stay tuned.
Yes, indeed. As long as we can continue to give you this broadcast, we'll have all the action for you. That's our main goal to have happen. Grant ball out of the timeout, gives it for Mosley. Mosley on the right wing, pulls the ball back out, guarded by Kim. Mosley still with it, passes out for Von Arx on the left wing, gives it for Pete. Pete near the logo, midcourt line. Pete, right to left crossover, going into the paint, lays it up, shot. Missed, but a foul on Roosevelt. And a foul on Terrence Hill Jr., his first. And Pete will be at the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Roosevelt playing really aggressive defense. They're trying to keep Grant from getting back into this game. They're only down by 4 points. Make that 3 points.
Pete makes the first one.
And so playing pretty aggressive on the defensive side there for the Rough Riders. A little too aggressive there and got called for the foul.
46-43 lead Roosevelt. And Pete cans both free throws. Pete with 9 off the bench. 46-44 lead Roosevelt. 3:25 remaining in the game. Lob down the floor. Kim caught it. 3-on-1 break. Tupper down the floor. Lays it in with the left hand. Tupper with 14. Lead back up at 4 for the Rough Riders at 48-44. 3:10 left in the game. Von Arx over for Bernius. Bernius over to the right wing, or left wing rather, is Pete. Lost the ball, got it back though. Pete over for Lawrence on the left, on the right elbow. Bounce into the lane. Layup is good by Von Arx. Von Arx's first field goal for Grant. 48-46 lead Roosevelt. 2:45 remaining in the game. Hill Jr. comes down the lane, lost the ball, stolen by Mosley. It's a 3-on-2 for Grant. Mosley spinning in the lane, lays it up with the left hand, no fall zone shot, and lays it in.
He went up the first time there a little off balance and missed that lay-in with the left hand, and then grabbed his own rebound and threw it back in with 2 hands.
Mosley with 19. We are tied at 48 all. 2:20 left in the game.
The Grant crowd is fired up.
Shovel inside. Morris lost the ball. Recovered by Roosevelt. Morris last touched it almost. It is going to be Roosevelt ball as on the far side, Lawrence go for the loose ball as well.
There was more bowling than basketball in the last 3 seconds of this game.
Exactly. Good analogy there, Jacob. And it comes to Hill Jr. Dumps it off to Kim, who lays it in. Kim with 8. 2-point lead for Roosevelt, 50-48. 1:55 left for the game. Lawrence guarded by Hill Jr. Lawrence behind the back dribble will pull up from the left elbow. Good. Tie game.
That was a sweet move. What a sweet move.
50 all, 1:40 remaining in the game. Over to the left wing in Tupper. Passes outside to Morris. Rough Riders have a full and a 30-second timeout left. Dumping inside, layup good by Sheemster. And the Rough Riders lead by 2. 52-50. 1:24 remaining in regulation.
This is like a heavyweight boxing match, and these two coming down to the 12th round, slugging each other.
Lawrence bump and a foul called on Hill Jr. That is his second. That is the second team foul. It should be on Roosevelt.
The Roosevelt's coach can't believe it because we've been seeing so much contact tonight. And that didn't seem like
as much of contact as we've been seeing. That hasn't been called. Officials now getting with Mosley. And it looks like Kim up on the far side for the inbounds, and it is.
Inbound to Mosley in the backcourt. 1:14 remaining in the game. Mosley for the lead on a step-back 3, and he connects.
Wow. Under half and hit the 3, falling down, and this gymnasium is on fire.
Timeout. Grant will stay here for the finish. Fourth quarter. Grant retakes the lead, 53-52 with 1:06 left in the fourth. Mosley on that big-time triple now has 22 for the Generals.
And that's exactly what the Generals need. They need their best star, the go-to guy, Mosley, coming in and making it happen, hitting the big shot at the big moment when they need it, and this is exactly what Grant needs.
I noticed during the timeout, Mosley bumped shoulders against Kim. Referees did not catch that initially. Normally, that would be a taunting penalty. But the referees let that go.
The energy is so electric in here. You can feel the tension. Both of these teams, again, it's the number 3 team in the state with the Rough Riders out of Roosevelt, the number 6 team in the state, the Grant Generals. Both of these teams got 5 wins in a row. I mean, we're looking at right now, this could be the state champion possibly could be playing here tonight, right now.
Roosevelt to inbound the ball, down by only 1. Hill Jr. to inbound the ball near the Grant basket. In the backcourt, Hill gets it into Tupper. Tupper against Lawrence. And the pass tipped by Pete, out of bounds, Roosevelt possession. And that was a good call because Pete touched it last for Grant. Robert Pete got a smile on his face, the head coach for Grant. Tupper to inbound the ball. Roosevelt with a full and a 30 left. Grant with 1 full and 2 30s on my stat sheet remaining. Morris into Seamster, driving in the paint for the lead. Missed the shot, blocking foul is called. And the defensive foul will be on Cole Bernius. That is his first.
The crowd can't believe it. They thought that he was clean and he took the charge.
Seamster splits his last free throw at the line. He will shoot 2. That's the 4th team foul on Grant, 2 for Roosevelt.
This is a 1-point ball game with 53 seconds left.
And Seamster misses the first free throw. Grant Army loves that one. Seamster with 1 more at the line. The best he can do is tie the game. The crowd making their presence known. Seamster does tie the game. 50 seconds to go in the third. Crowd on their feet here at Northeast Portland. It is Lawrence. Lawrence going to his left. Passes for Pete into the hands from Mosley. Mosley on the left wing. Now coming up for Mosley. Shot blocked, but a foul called on Seamster. It looked like Seamster from my vantage point got a good block from there, but he will get credited with a defensive foul.
Sean, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say it looked like a clean block to me.
They give the foul to Morris. I beg your pardon, not Seamster. Seamster came to help. Morris fouled underneath.
So
2 free throws for Mosley.
No, it was a clean block. It was the foul underneath.
And Mosley makes the free throw. And the Generals retake the lead 54-53 with 35.7 left in the 4th. Mosley now with 23. Make it 24. He cans the pair. 2-point lead for Grant. 33 seconds to go in the game. Roosevelt would love to pull off a stunner on the road. It's Hill Jr. holding it up against Mosley. Hill Jr. behind the back going to his right. Timeout, Rough Riders. They have a full and a 30 left on my stat sheet. And the official trying to indicate to Yusuf Leary, the head coach, what type of timeout it will be. It will be a full, so that leaves a 30 for Roosevelt. Grant with 3 timeouts left, full timeout, and 2 30s. Again, we will stay on air for the finish from Northeast Portland. Grant 55, Roosevelt 53. Grant looking for the season series sweep against Roosevelt.
Sean, you really know how to pick good ball games, because this is a phenomenal game. We're down to it's a 2-point game. So your home team got the lead. It's 55-53. Grant is up by 2 points. 21 seconds to go. It's Roosevelt's ball. They can tie it with a 2-pointer. They can win it with a 3. And this is going to come down to the very last second, the very last shot of this game.
Grant Army on their feet once again. They've been on their feet the whole game tonight.
They haven't sat down.
They haven't sat down. They're energized and poised like everyone else is for Grant to pick up potentially their 6th consecutive win, which would be a season high for them if they can pull it off tonight. Grant and Roosevelt both coming in with 5-game winning streaks in tonight's game, coming into tonight's game at that.
There's so much energy in here right now, Sean. If there was some way we could capture this energy, I bet you we could power the lights in this building.
Seamster to inbound up on the far side, guarded by Barnard. Quickly inbounded to Tupper getting it in to Morris. Morris on the right wing, 17 seconds left for the game. Getting it to Hill Jr.
A 3 wins it.
And a defensive foul on Mosley. He can take that foul. That's only the 15th foul for Grant. And that's personal foul number 1 for Mosley.
Grant up by 2. Roosevelt ties it with a 2-pointer. They win it with a 3.
Timeout Grant. They will take a full timeout themselves. So again, we'll stay here for the finish with exactly 12 seconds remaining in the game. Game reset once again. Grant with 2 timeouts left. They have 2 30s on my stat sheet. Roosevelt does have a 30-second timeout remaining in tonight's contest.
It's a good move by Grant here. You know, maybe playing a little mental game,
Trying to freeze Roosevelt right here at the last second, right before they're ready, and they got the energy and they want to come on and hit that 3 for the win. They're trying to freeze them here a little bit.
"12 seconds left, fourth quarter." His final instructions for Grant. 5 team fouls for Grant. They have 1 foul to give. Seamster to inbound in front of the Roosevelt bench and the scorer's table in front of us. Seamster looking to get it in, and ball tapped out of bounds by J. Sean Pete. It will remain Roosevelt ball. 11.5 left, fourth quarter. Again, Roosevelt does have a 30, and they will take a 30 here. So Roosevelt now, while we do get another game's reset for our listeners, Roosevelt are out of timeout, so they have to get this ball inbounds to prevent a 5-second violation. Grant, on the other end, has 2 30-second timeouts remaining in their back pocket. 11.5 remaining in the game. Grant 55, Roosevelt 53. It's about what we expect in tonight's game. The passion, the drama, the excitement, the energy. You can't expect anything other than that here on KBPS.
This is a lot of fun on a Friday night. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is great.
Despite the connection issues we've had in the third quarter primarily, I hope, and going into the fourth quarter, that some of it has been restored. So we'll stay on live no matter what for the finish in this game. 11.5 left. Roosevelt to inbound the ball out of timeout, so they have to get the ball inbounds. Hill Jr. to inbound in front of the Roosevelt bench. Hill looking to get it in. They are out of timeouts, and Hill Jr. calls for a timeout. So I guess they now are out of timeouts. They have called for a full. All right.
So they're going to give him out. That's okay.
It's all right. Things like that happen whenever we go for a disconnecting break. Yeah. And we lose track of what's going on the court.
Yeah, I'm no engineer, but this place is packed. There is no really empty seat in this entire house. There's standing room only in the standing room only section, and there's so many human beings in here on cell phones and on Wi-Fi connections. There's only so much bandwidth, and so we don't have a signal as strong as we typically do tonight due to this packed house.
The one thing that would save us, and God bless Scott Young for mentioning this to me, would be having an Ethernet connection. That would be a lifesaver if that were to happen. Inbounds quickly, got it in to Utrillo Morris, over for Hill Jr. Ball poked away by Mosley, out of bounds. Roosevelt ball again with 6.2 left. A 2-point lead for Grant, 55-53. It will be Kim to inbound on the far side. Kim gets it into Hill Jr. 5 seconds left. Hill, ball poked away by Mosley, recovered by Morris. A 3 for the win, no good. And the Generals win it, 55-53. Clutch defense at the end from Mosley to poke the ball loose. They had to fire a shot, did Morris, who had a decent look off balance and unable to give Roosevelt the win. Wow.
I have goosebumps.
Great high school. Grant Generals win it The final of 55-53. Back in a moment on KBPS. Welcome back to Northeast Portland at Grant High School with the final score. Grant Generals win it 55-53 in the closing seconds of this game. Sean Phillips and Jacob Patterson on hand for the KBPS postgame show. Let's run down to you the scores for tonight's game. For Roosevelt, Seamster with 12 points tonight, Tupper with 14, and Hill Jr. with 10 for Roosevelt. 3 players in double figures tonight for the Rough Riders. Bea Kim with 8 and Morris with 7 for Roosevelt. Roosevelt has led as many as 8 in tonight's game. Looking at Grant, Adrian Mosley, another terrific performance from him. 24 points tonight. Jay Sean Pete with 9 off the bench. Bernius with 5. Jay with 2. Capranos with 2. Von Arks with 2. McKinney with his only field goal, a 3-pointer earlier in the game. And Lawrence with 9 for Grant. Grant led as many as 6 points in tonight's game. Final thoughts, Jacob, before we sign out from Grant.
There was no bad part of tonight other than this connection issue. I mean, everything was on fire tonight. From the epic introductions that were put on by Grant High School. Heads up, PIL high schools, if you're not doing basketball, men's varsity basketball introductions like Grant is doing them, you need to come check this out, because the lights and the light show and all that, beautiful. The game, beautiful. These two teams showed us why they're two of the best in the entire state of Oregon tonight. Beautiful. The crowd, beautiful. There was a standing room only. You know what caught my attention, Sean?
What?
The fact that we have, this is so cool. We have these signs right here in our little section that says reserved for radio. You knew it was going to be a packed house when we come in, and this is the first time I've seen this all season long in all the games that we've done. Having these signs here that say reserved for radio broadcast. That is very cool. Want to give a shout out to the AD here for a great job, Odie. All the way around. And then just the game. I mean, what a game, Sean. It's the best game I've seen all season long with you on all the broadcasts that we've done. Great defense. And just like you said, it came down to the defense at the end of the game by Grant to poke away at those last second passes to keep Roosevelt from having a good, decent shot at tying or winning the game, and then force that scramble at the very last second. The defense was great on both ends of the court tonight. No easy bucket, no easy pass. It was a fight tonight, really, on the court. I mean, it was like a heavyweight boxing championship match. And, Grant just pulls it out at the end there, 55-53. There's not enough good things to say about the broadcast tonight.
Aside from the disconnect we've had multiple times.
And you notice now that the gym has cleared out, hear how good our signal sounds now, because we have all the bandwidth we need, because now the crowd is clearing out.
Yes, and our favorite feature, the crosslock, is back in the green, not in the yellow or red. Otherwise, that'd be problematic. A little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on the broadcast, folks. Grant has now won a season-high 6-game winning streak. They moved up to 17-3 overall and 12-2 in the PIL standings. For Roosevelt, their 5-game winning streak comes to an end, and they dropped to 16-6 overall and 9-4 in the PIL standings. If Benson should win tonight, then Roosevelt and Benson would be tied for 4th place in the PIL standings. And Benson currently is taking on Cleveland here tonight for Benson versus Cleveland. That's also one of the games we have on tonight. Jacob is motioning to me. We'll get the player of the game, Adrian Mosley. You had 24 points tonight. Talk about what happened in the final seconds.
Over the years I got more confident and just believed in myself more. And I know my team has my back, so I just tried to go out there and give it my all.
Well, you poured on a terrific performance, not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end as well. You guys have now won 6 consecutive games. How big does that feel for you?
Oh, real good. I wasn't too sure about the league title, and this year that's something I really wanted to accomplish, and now winning this game, I feel like we're ahead.
Well, you're 12-2 in league play, so at the moment, I think you guys have the league title on lock.
Oh, that's great to hear.
No doubt. Thanks for the time.
Of course.
Adrian Mosley. Have a good rest of your night.
Hey, you too.
Mosley with us for the KBPS postgame show. A little extended than usual, but that's okay. Again, Grant moves up to 12-2 in league play, 17-3 in overall standings in the PIL, and Roosevelt drops to 9-4, 16-6 in the overall standings this year. Other games being played tonight: Cleveland at Benson. I was trying to mention that before Mosley came on for a post-game talk. Jefferson at Franklin. We do have a final at Ida Wells. The Guardians defeat McDaniel 69-41 in boys action tonight.
Didn't mean to throw you a curveball there, Sean, but any chance you get to talk with the All-Star there, let's throw him on the air.
Absolutely. Very humble individual is Mosley with his performance tonight. This concludes tonight's broadcast. Special thanks to Donna Negas putting up with our bad disconnect in tonight's broadcast,
Thank
but
you,
making
Donna.
it work.
Thank you, Donna.
Our studio engineer for making our broadcast possible tonight, and the athletic director at Grant High School, Odie Hollingshed. For more on our upcoming schedule, go to www.kbps.am, as we will talk to you on Wednesday night next week from Cleveland High School. It's the Warriors and the same Grant Generals that we had during tonight's game, 7 o'clock for tip-off. Grant wins it over Roosevelt, 55-53. For Jacob Patterson, I am Sean Phillipson, and this has been live 6A high school boys basketball action on AM 1450 KBPS in Portland. Good night, everybody.
You've been listening to Live PIL Basketball. The preceding broadcast was a sports presentation of